What's up, everyone? It's your guy, Lord Walid. I'm sorry I've been a little busy. I had some personal stuff to take care of, but now we're back at it, peeps. I had this one was highly recommended. This one's for you, Team Forward. You wanted it awesome on Drew McIntyre, and there it is. You're gonna get it. Today's video is gonna be 19 reasons why Drew McIntyre is awesome. Let's start off with reason number one: his Broken Dreams theme song. If you remember it, when was it? Around like 2007, 2008, when Drew McIntyre made his debut. I don't really remember, but I remember his theme song. Dun, 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 dun. Last on the when he has broken dreams and all, and I dream broken dreams. I remember that song. That song was pretty good, actually. And now we'll get to reason number two. Always looked in good shape. Even back then, if you'll notice, when Drew McIntyre made his debut, he looked in pretty respectable shape. However, could have been booked better back then. Could have been booked better, and here's, in my opinion, how I think it would have worked. Knowing that the guy was actually not bad looking, how he would have been booked during his mid card thing. I know it may sound like a redundant one, but how about some sort of a reflection of perfection type of a character, all the while being like some sort of a serious type of a Scottish dude that he's not gonna mess around. He's like the type who's gonna steal your lady. He's flaunting about how good he is and how good he thinks he is, as well as all the while can flip into serious mode when being provoked. Now we'll get. It's just my opinion. If you think any other ideas, you can let me know in the comment section down below. With pleasure, we'll argue over that. Now we'll get to reason number three. Came back looking better. Yes, I know when Drew McIntyre left, did his TNA thing and all his indie stuff. He, on the other hand, compared to the likes of Cody Rhodes, the Lisp, compared to the Lisp, came back looking completely different. Same thing as a Jinder Mahal, for example. When you look at them when they came back, they were like, wow, that guy is not the same one. After being the goof of 3MB, and don't get me started on that, and the dashing ones, don't even get me started on those. After that, he came back looking completely different and worked completely different. Now we'll get to reason number four. Better than all the trash triple fraud favors. Obviously, if you look at guys like him, LA Knight, who I already did an awesome on, Karrion Cross or Killer Cross, who I already did an awesome on, those guys, they have a look. They have something special about them, even like, let's say, a Bobby Lashley, for example. Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, John Cena. Who else? Randy Orton. Even, let's say, what were like the jobbers from back then, like Val Venus, Bo Buchanan, even like guys like Bradshaw and Farouk, Booker T, Rey Mysterio. Even I'll even go to Rey Mysterio to some extent, or like etc. So on and so forth. You'll notice that all those guys, even though all of us as human beings have flaws, but they compensated their flaws with their strengths. Something those modern marks never did, and more than likely never will do. Because if you talk to them, they'd be like, "How dare you criticize me? I've wrestled thousands of years on the indies in front of five neckbeards, and now all of a sudden I made it to WWE doing my hard work, wrestling and eating cans of dog food, and having no psychology, not learning promo skills, not learning shit, and I'm beaten and battered. How dare you criticize me?" Then again, morons. Now we'll move on to reason number five. Vince was right to call him the chosen one. Those of you who remember back in the day, Vince called him the chosen one. You'll remember Drew McIntyre's nickname was the chosen one, and Vince was right because He saw a vision of him long term, and that vision came to be, even though it didn't work properly due to the ideas of the booking. Now we'll move on to reason number 6, the feud with CM Penis. You already know how I feel about that jackass CM Punk, and you know how much your lord hates the fuck out of that dude. But the feud with Drew McIntyre was good. I'll give them credit. Mostly for Drew, because Drew did all the work. CM Punk didn't do absolutely nothing except showing off how much of a psychopath and a depraved degenerate he is, not handling the truth of his own failures. He got hurt, so what? You got hurt, you're not ready. Go the fuck get the fuck out of here. Go with your crackhead wife. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. Be like a Marvel inker, or like get your ass kicked in UFC again, or like go support trannies. I don't give a fuck. You got hurt, it means you're not in good enough shape. Fuck out of here. Drew did the feud best and should have won, by the way. Not you, you flimsy meth head, because I know what you did. No, man, I can't take another loss. I have to go over. I'm the great CM Punk. He probably threw some hissy fit, and Noseman, being the mark that he is, and so Vince, so Drew's a Vince guy. I'm gonna fuck him up and make you win, Phil. Come in, buddy. Retards. Reason number 7. Drew McIntyre is not a mark. Because if you notice, in some interviews, he'll talk about the good things that actually matter in this business. He won't be like some sort of a CM Punk, or like it's about the work rate, the in rings, mentioning jobbers like Will Asprey and GEW, or like some sort of a mentioning jabronis like Luke Gallows, Tyson Kidd, and all those other losers that more than likely never drew a dime and never will. You'll see Drew talking about facts. And my hat's off to you, Mr. Galloway. Now we'll get to reason number 8. Seems like a humble, cool, and down to earth type of dude. Because if you notice him in some interviews and all, you'll notice that he's the type of guy who's a cool person, who's someone that you'll hang out with, you'll enjoy actually his company, and you can exchange like properly. Not some sort of a thin skinned snowflake mark like those modern day degenerates. Now, reason number 9. Does actually a good job. Whether you could put him as a face or a heel, Drew is very talented to make it work. Even as a Scottish psychopath type, he can make it work. If you could put him like some sort of a royal knight or whatever type of character, I'm sure he'll make it work. It's just an example that I thought of it on the fly. Which leads us now to reason number 10. Which, by the way, correlates with reason number 8 and number 7. There's a correlation between the other two reasons. Has a good mindset for the business. Because he takes care of himself, makes sure to look like a star the way any reasonable person should, and has some self-respect. As well as the wrestling and moveset that is actually pretty decent for the character, and that will not lead you to injuries. Now we go on to reason number 11. Doug did a good work considering the standards nowadays with the Scottish psychopath character. Reason number 12. Made a decent to good champ during the COVID era. I know the COVID era was kind of messed up and was kind of a bust, but maintained it alongside with Roman. Those two did actually pretty good considering today's standards, not the standards from the Attitude Era or Ruthless Aggression. Those times were way better than nowadays and will always be. The reason number 13, his 2009 to 2010 push, early push. As I mentioned before, you had something there, however, should have been booked and built properly. Reason number 14, his TNA work was actually pretty decent, I might add. Now we'll move on to reason number 15. Reliable soldier. Sure, he got fired before, but you won't see him shitting on the hand that feeds him. He's not like those hypocrites, like let's say Rhea, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn. They will shit on Noseman, even though I hate the fuck out of Noseman. But you know how your Lord is. We're gonna be fair and we're gonna be honest. They'll shit on Noseman, yet those are the same hypocrites that are getting the benefits out of Noseman's stupid booking. You'll notice Rhea being shoved up our ass and down our throats. Sami Zayn, same thing. Crossdresser Seth Rollins, same thing. Those are the type of ungrateful pieces of shit that should not be getting pushed. As for the Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn, you should have them be jobbers getting squashed by Bull Buchanan in a 2-minute squash match or made fun of by Bradshaw and Farouk. That's a side rant. As for Rhea, either you get her to look like a normal woman and get rid of that social justice warrior type of shit, or you fire that bitch. There's not much you can do, in my opinion, unless if you think there's something to do. We can argue on that one. However, Drew, much like our truth and all, he's not someone that will bite the hand that feed him, and will make the most out of what he has. Which leads us now to reason number 16. Seems like someone easy to work with. Let's say you're in a feud with him, and you're discussing about the spots and how to develop that feud. You will be able to come up with very good ideas and things to make them work. Ways to make them work, I mean, sorry. That's the impression that Drew gives me. I don't know him on a personal level. I'm just saying the impression I can get and what I can guess from seeing the character. Reason number 17. His feuds with Eli Drake and even Moose, which correlates to his TNA work. Knowing the talent of the other two guys and Drew, they surely made it work even with Bobby Lashley. Even with Bobby Lashley, if he feuded with him. I don't really remember. You'll correct me on that one on the comments. Much appreciated. Now we get to reason number 18. Safe worker doesn't injure others and rarely gets injured that I remember. And that's the type of wrestler that any normal wrestler should aim to be. You wrestle a style where you'll know how to take the punch, you'll know how to sell the move, you'll know how to land, and you know how to reduce the damage, make all the while making it real as much as possible without hurting yourself as little as without hurting yourself as much as possible. Yeah. Don't be like those. I respect you. I respect you. You respect me. We're gonna have a banger match for these marks. Because listen, modern wrestlers, those marks will turn on you just like that. Let's say WWE brings some other jobber. You're gonna be lost and forgotten to time. It happened again and again and again. Just a quick reminder. Back in the day when normal people were cheering for Cena, even marks were cheering for Cena. Once CM Punk opened his pie hole, all of a sudden, Cena has been seen like the bad guy, and jabronis like your CM Punks, your Kevin Owenses, and etc. are seen like the good guys, and Cena's been seen like the bad one. Even though Cena in his pinky is leagues above all those losers combined. Has been and will always be better than those losers combined. Which is not relegated to Drew, I know, but it's a side rant. And the advice on the type of wrestler you should aim to be. Not those mark-minded wrestlers like CM Punk and all. Now we'll get to reason number 19. Decent moveset. His moveset, much like let's say Eli Drake or LA Knight, Karrion Kross, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, etc. His moveset fits the character that he has, which is a good sign that this guy is actually a good and competent wrestler. Unlike the ones that are being shoved up our asses and down our throats. Seth Rollins. And let's not forget Cody Rhodes, the massive jobber. You were Stardust 9 years ago. I don't forget. Yeah, you may have done some shit on the Indies where you became like a cheap ass Conor McGregor with the suit, trying to look better than you are, Cody. You will always be a jobber in my eyes. You will always be that tag team jobber who was the bottom cook in that team. Then who was Randy Orton's lackey? Later on, you had your dashing and dashing gimmick with the smoke and mirrors and all. That was your best part. I'll give it credit. But other than that, all downhill from here. You had the pedo stash, trying to seem like you were so lame, thinking that getting a mustache will get you over. It did not. It showed how much of a nub you are. Then after that, was it? Yeah, around that time, it was all downhill from here. Stardust. Ah, man, I'm. What a dork. Then again, he copied his father. His father was a dork. It's not Dusty, it's Goldust, by the way. So that's why Goldust had to be a jobber to cover for the shame he brought to his family. Now we'll get to some bonus reasons for Drew McIntyre. Bonus reason number one, he actually speaks his mind. If you notice during his interviews, Drew McIntyre speaks his mind the way any reasonable person does, and you could tell that that guy is a very smart person who has critical thinking and independent thoughts. Will not buy into something, oh, because it's told to me, I have to accept it with zero critical thinking skills. Also, all the while, look, when you look at the guy, you could tell that guy is cool. And bonus reason number two, championship material, which is true. But under Noseman, if you noticed, Drew did not held the belt. All he was jobber material. Only under Vince that he was a champion and all. Because you'll notice something. All the decent talents, whether it could be a Drew McIntyre, that can be world championship material. Let's say even if you put them on for the B title, the world heavyweight one. Not the older one, the modern one that Seth Rollins has. Would be they would be way better champions than Seth Rollins. Because guys like a Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Cross, let's say even a Bobby Lashley, who he got rid of him, yet he keeps Johnny Gargano. Idiots. But he jobs them out, all the while pushing his favorite cronies, who proved times and times again to be massive flops. Noseman, get your head out of your ass. And with that being said, these are the reasons why I think Drew McIntyre is awesome. We're gonna go back to the Sucks series, and as a shout out for you, my man, Lord Beerus, the first one's gonna be Guta the Ring General. It's gonna be obviously my funniest video and my easiest one, by the way, because Gunther absolutely sucks. And I'm pretty sure I'll come up with the 19 reasons in about a good 10 to 15 seconds. There is an infinity of reasons why that loser sucks. And also, the next one's gonna be for you, my man Rami. You wanted to suck on Dominique? You're gonna get a suck on Dominique. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And if there's some video or some reaction you'd like me to, just let me know in the comment section down below. Send me the link or send it to me on my Twitter feed. I'll be sure to answer to you. And with that being said, I wish you all a good time. See you next time, peeps.